Riccardo Calafiori to Arsenal. Deal close. Agreement has been reached between Arsenal and Bologna on the structure of the deal. And it's good to have you here this morning on Fancy Football Transfer Talk. My name is Omar Fields, and let's dive into the latest transfer news for today with discussion and in-depth analysis on why this player is going here and why this deal is not happening. Before we play the montage, kindly subscribe, like, share our videos on Fancy Football to help us grow. Thank you so much. We'll also be talking about Adrien Rabiot to Manchester United and N'Golo Kante to West Ham, and also every other stories that are out there for us to talk about. So let's dive into it in full now. Arsenal are closing in on their first signing of the season, I would say, because he was the first player that was in there. Well, we all know that there's a young goalkeeper, Stilford, in now for Arsenal. But Riccardo Calafiori was the major signing of one of the major signings of this season that they went into this deal there about 3 weeks ago, and suddenly the deal froze and something stopped along the line between Arsenal and Bologna. The deal couldn't really happen. But let's see how it goes now, because the deal is very, very close. It's been reported by multiple outlets that Arsenal have reached the final agreement with Bologna on the payment structure of Calafiori. The player is ready to move. The player is eager to move to the Emirates Stadium, and hopefully we'll see that deal happen. Let's see what is being said by other outlets out there, the likes of Fabrizio Romano, Sky. Let's see what is being said by them, because the deal, like I said, is close, and hopefully that should be done. Okay, Arsenal. Okay, for Arsenal, for this deal to happen, according to Fabrizio Romano, he said it is understood, it is understood that Arsenal are now closing in to reach a total agreement with Bologna for Riccardo Calafiori. Positive talks have taken place behind the scene with the player's agent Alexandro Lucio on it. So Arsenal are confident to finally get their man at the end of the day. Personal terms for this deal, like we've been reporting always, that it's not a problem, and the deal will be a 5-year deal until June 29. Then exclusively, if you look at this exclusively, Arsenal and Bologna have reached an agreement. Now, this is what is going on now. This is just broken for 2 minutes ago on Riccardo Calafiori after breakthrough review earlier understood that a fee is 40 million euros plus add-ons and sell-on clause. Final step needed: Basel and Bologna to agree 50% sale on payment terms. Then here we go. This is from Fabrizio Romano. So hopefully, let's see if this deal is going to work. But I think the deal is going to work. The deal is almost done for Arsenal. It took them close to four weeks to reach this agreement. For the deal is close. The deal is almost done, and hopefully this week the player will travel to the Emirates Stadium or to London to have his medical. Everything is set. It's a 5-year deal, 40 million euros. Arsenal are getting a good bargain, plus £5 million add-on. So the total package of this deal is 45 million euros in all in all. So it's a good deal. We reported 50 million euros earlier, but Arsenal have been negotiating on the deal, on the structure of the deal, on how much is to be paid. And it's good to see this kind of negotiation happen between clubs, this kind of negotiation being held between clubs. And the final deal we all expected was 50 million euros. But at the end of the day, see, that is why bargaining, and that was why the deal was held up. So, Arsenal fan, you are closing in to get your man. You are closing in to get your prize asset for this season. One of your prize assets, I would say, for this season. Hopefully, let's see what is next for Arsenal. Maybe probably a striker, but we are hearing out there that they might not go for a striker. Like we reported yesterday, that is so slow, so quiet in the transfer market. So if you're out there, tell me, why is it quiet in the transfer market? Clubs are not really making moves. Most clubs are not really making moves. You see, like I said, there's quiet. It's been quiet in the Premier League. Arsenal, Liverpool. Though Arsenal have finally woken up, but Liverpool, Man City, Tottenham, and some other clubs, it's been really quiet. Is it because of the financial fair play rule that is causing it? Clubs are really looking at inwards in terms of financial fair play rule. So that is what is really going on for now. For now, so far so good. So let's move on. Let's really move on from here, from Calafiori. Let's go to this guy, Rabiot, Andre Rabiot to Manchester United, deal close. For Rabiot to United, okay, somebody is sending me a message. Okay, welcome to United. Okay, for Rabiot to United, I think this deal is close. Hopefully, a deal will be struck between Rabiot's agent, who is his mother, and Manchester United. Rabiot wants 7 million euros at age 29. At age 29, he'll be 30 next month. So he wants 7 million euros. But United, that we know now currently, would not pay 7 million euros for Rabiot. I think a fee around 5 million euro with a 3-year deal will be given to him. Hopefully, United are when they were formerly well known to pay over much more over in the transfer market. But hopefully, uh, they won't pay over in this transfer market. So Rabiot to United, very close. Player, 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 and the club will be talking gradually, and let's see where it takes everybody to at the end of the day. So Rabiot, we should not forget, is a free agent, so I think he will not command a transfer fee from Juventus. He's a free agent. He has left Juventus. He wants to look elsewhere. Basically, he wants to look at the Premier League. He wants to try the Premier League to see what is left for him. So let's see how that deal pan out for Rabiot. So talks for this deal is going on. Rabiot left Juventus June 30th. Uh, and Man United are keen on bringing in another midfielder. Now, it also depends on Ugarte, because news out there saying that for Ugarte, PSG are splashing the sum of 75 million euros on the player. And United said no. If you have this player for 75 million euros, then why don't you use him? You put him on the bench. Yes. If he is going for 75 million euros, then why put him on the bench? So I want to ask, between, if you're a United fan, between Ugarte and Rabiot, which of these two players would you prefer? Ugarte in the midfield alongside Kobe Mainoo. Ugarte on this side, Kobe Mainoo on the other side. Eh? Ugarte on this side, Kobe Mainoo on the other side. So which of the players would you prefer to have in your team? So let me know if you're a United fan out there, if you're watching us, which of these players would you prefer to have in your team alongside Kobe Mainoo? So let me know your thoughts. Let me just put an answer there. Let me put a question there. Ugarte or Rabiot in the midfield? Which would you prefer? So tell me, if you're a United fan, Ugarte or Rabiot, which will you prefer in the midfield alongside Gobimenu? So let me know. I just think that if United can do this deal, hopefully, but we all know that United now are looking at the players that they've signed so far are under 24. If peradventure they want to bring in Rabiot, they are bringing him because of experience, yes. They are bringing him to ensure that they have backups from everywhere, and also they are bringing him to also let Casemiro go. So this is what this is where it stands with respect to Rabiot. For Ugarte, I think Ugarte, the price tag is expensive. It's very, very expensive. I don't know, but the price tag for Ugarte is expensive, and United, I've said they can't pay such amount for Ugarte, for a player that how many minutes does he even have last season? They can't pay such amount. So uh, I think it's better for United to look elsewhere or to look for a loan option, and that's what they are also looking for. They can sit down and look elsewhere, or they can also look for a loan option as well. If they can get this guy, if they can get Rabiot, then possibly get Ugarte on loan with a buyout option if the deal works. If it doesn't work, they let him go. So uh, I think for me, if you look at these two players, they will be a wonderful addition. But you can only pick one out of them. Pick one. So the question is out there: Ugarte or Rabiot. Okay, guys. We're still on Fancy Football Transfer Talk. Thank you for watching. Thank you for keeping in touch with us. Sorry. Thank you for keeping in touch with us. Thank you for being part of the show on this Saturday afternoon on Fancy Football. Kindly subscribe, like, please give us more. Just send in the likes, please. Keep sending the likes in on the video, please. Send in the likes. Yeah, we want more likes, please. We want you to like our video to spread our news as well on Fancy Football. So let's see what will happen. Let's see what will happen. Okay, let's move on from this story to some other player elsewhere in Saudi Arabia. N'Golo Kante not for sale. Sorry, N'Golo Kante is not for sale. Sorry for the typographic error. It's not for sale. Al Ittihad stands. That's just their stand. The player is not for sale. Okay, let's go. Let's dive into the discussion segment. Okay, Onabanjo Adegbami, Calafiori to Arsenal deal is finally agreed. What is the update on Gyökeres to Arsenal? I think for Victor Gyökeres to Arsenal have not really settled down on the striker they are going into, and that is the fact. But if you look at the options of striker out there, they are there's a quite much more or less limited numbers of strikers out there. You have Gyökeres, you have who else again? You have Ivan Toney. I don't know. For Ivan Toney, I think Brentford want to sell him on a cut price of 40 million pounds. But for Toney, he prefers moving to Manchester United rather than Arsenal. But if Arsenal can bring him a very good and decent project on Abanjo, I think at the end of the day, Arsenal can get can really do the deal for Ivan Toney. But for Victor Gyökeres, we know how much he wants. We know how much Benfica are really looking for. I mean, we know how much Sporting Lisbon are really looking for. Not Benfica, sorry. And they are looking for close to 60 to 70 million euros. And Arsenal have just spent how much on Calafiori? 40 million euros. But a deal can be done around that side. But first of all, the first thing is that Arsenal have to show interest on the player they want to sign, on the striker they want to bring into. Gyökeres, a wonderful player, but I just think that Arsenal needs somebody that have the Premiership experience, and Ivan Toney is what Arsenal should be looking into if they really want to compete with Manchester City and others for this season Premier League. So, Onabanjo, I hope I've answered your question. If you have much more questions, please send in. So kindly subscribe to Fancy Football. Onabanjo, like our video, like and share our videos, please. And make comments as you just did, and spread our news as well. Thank you so much. So let's move on, guys. Let's move on. We're still talking. Let's go. Let's look at the N'Golo Kante saga. Uh, for N'Golo Kante, I think if you look at Kante to West Ham, I think West Ham can really afford to pay Kante. And we look at his wages. How much does he earn at Al Ittihad? Massive money. Massive money. Can they afford to pay him? That's just the issue. Because N'Golo Kante is earning more, and you know the way N'Golo Kante deal is for Al Ittihad. There's something that it's just okay. It's just something I don't think West Ham can afford to pay his wages. The wages is where the problem is. It's not just the player moving. The wages is where the problem is. So if West Ham can really afford to pay the wages, then they can look for a way to convince the player to come. But the question is that would the player really want to come to um, the London Stadium? Does he want to play in London? Does he want to come back to the Premier League? It's a question that West Ham have to ask. I have to ask and have to answer as well. On the other hand, so let's see how it goes. Let's move on. Let's move on, please, quickly. Onabanjo, I read somewhere that Arsenal had agreed to meet the amount placed for Gutierrez. No, for now, no, no news about Victor Gutierrez. No news about that player. About a deal being struck between Arsenal and maybe something around the corner. But Onabanjo, for now, there is no story about Arsenal having met, because see, the transfer doesn't really work like that. Arsenal cannot just come out and say they've agreed to pay that amount. It doesn't really work. Look at the Calafiori deal. Let's look at it in plain sight. Look at it very, very well in plain sight. It took how many weeks? And moreover, clubs don't want to overpay at this moment for a player. They don't want to overpay for a certain player. And we know how the Portuguese club operates. They put a clause in a transfer clause in the player's contract, and they just force you to pay. They force you to pay that amount. That's not how it works. Negotiation will take place if Arsenal are willing to go for this player, Gutierrez. Then negotiation has to take place between Arsenal and Gutierrez representative first of all. And that's how it works, firstly. I've said it multiple times. When personal terms have been agreed, then the next step is for Arsenal to talk with Benfica on the amount that is needed to be paid. They have to negotiate on that amount. So once the negotiation is being done, the next step for Arsenal is to ensure that they structure the payment alongside Benfica. I will pay you 10% this season. I'll pay you 20% this season. That is how the transfer market works on Onabanjo. It doesn't work by saying Arsenal have agreed. So it works step by step. In 3 or 4 steps, then you are there at the final stage. So that is what it is. I hope I answered that question. Please, more questions. If you have more questions, it's been. Thank you so much, Onabanjo, for your questions. So hopefully, and then kindly spread the word on fancy football. Let's grow this channel together. Let's grow this channel together. Hopefully, let's see. Okay, Man United still interested in signing in signing delete. Sorry for once again the typo error again. So, but hopefully we'll get that sorted out from our end. So let's see. Man United interested in delete still. United still wants to bring. I said so yesterday. United still wants to bring in a defender. They want to bring in a defender, and delete meets the eye. Eric Ten Hag said this morning that he wasn't the one that pushed out the name of delete out there. It was somebody from the United team, maybe somebody like Dan Ashworth or somebody like Wilcott as well. So he said so, but I just think that hopefully something will happen. Something will happen in the side of the lead. So if United can get the lead into the team, then hopefully there's something there for them to get additional defender into it. But they have to sell. That is what United are pushing. They are pushing to sell. They are pushing to sell the players now, so that they can bring down their wages, and that is what United have been doing fantastically well this season. They are bringing down the wages, the wage bill of the club in respect to players. So I think they have to sell to sign the lead. That is where we are. Finally, Man United eyeing Zubimendi if Ugate's transfer falls through. If Ugate's transfer doesn't really happen, I think United will go for Zubimendi. Zubimendi is a very good midfielder, though he didn't appear for Spain in this Euros, but we know how well he's been drilled for Real Sociedad in that midfield. He's a very good midfielder, and he has much more experience than Ugarte. He can hold his own. He can pass the ball very well. Just like the Busquets sort of midfielder that he is, or Rodri as well. So for the deal between Man United and PSG on Ugarte, if it doesn't happen, then Zubimendi is the next player United are eyeing. So United have players in different positions, two players in different positions going to the transfer market, and which is good. Okay, Onabanjo still sending the question. Okay, what is the update on Nico Williams starting move to Barcelona or Arsenal? I'm aware that Barca has funds issue that could make them withdraw from the race to sign him. Yes, I think you are right about it. About this issue of Barca being cash strapped currently now. And this is what I think about this deal. Nico Williams would prefer to stay in La Liga and move to Barcelona. But if Arsenal can present a very good project, see, it's all about project and the money. It's all about the project and the money on Onabanjo. If Arsenal can look at a certain project, the project that they have for it, and present it to the player might be convinced to move. But at its stance now, the player wants Barcelona, and Barcelona financially are not really looking good. We know that last year they mortgaged their 10 years fund. I think they collected that amount from the Spotify, from Spotify, and invested it in a new stadium. Currently now, there's no money to be spent with regards to transfers for Arsenal. Arsenal have to do a deal. I mean, for Barcelona, Barcelona have to do this deal. I don't know where they will get the funds from, but they really have to come in terms with that. We don't have money. Let's go into this deal. Let's see how Atletico Bilbao will react. But this guy, Nico Williams, will not come cheap. But we are looking at a transfer fee of between 60 to 70 million euros. Do Barcelona currently have that fund? Though the La Liga chief have come out to say that Barcelona will have that funds very soon. But Barcelona needs to clear, and that is why there are rumors out there that Barcelona wants to sell the likes of De Jong and some other players to reduce their wage bill. We don't know. But I think if Arsenal can present a very good project, then there's possibility that the player will move. That's what I think. So kindly subscribe, kindly like Fancy Football. I keep saying it. Kindly like Fancy Football. This is a 30-minute show, and the show is gradually coming to an end. I think we'll just barely have 3 minutes, hopefully, to the end of the show. Send in more questions, and I'll keep on answering your questions for today on Fancy Football. Send in more questions. We don't lack that ability to answer those questions if you have the questions you want to ask us. So let's move on. Let's keep talking. Okay, guys. Please, between Ugarte, if you're a United fan here on this show, between Ugarte or Rabiot, who will you prefer alongside Kubumenu in the midfield? Between Ugarte and Rabiot, who will you prefer alongside Kubumenu in the United midfield? coming next season. So this is the question I ask: Ugarte or Rabiot? Which will you prefer? Which will you prefer? So kindly answer the question. Okay, the football fancy, the football fans zone. Rabiot's bloody rubbish. So but United are going for him, so that's what it is. I think for Rabiot, for me, I think I don't. If you can get Rabiot, fine, but Ugarte will be preferable. Currently, now you are getting Rabiot for free, and that is why the deal looks attractive for now. The fancy. There's a reason why he is forever free on the market. He needs the fancy fan zone. There's a reason why. So, I think most United fans will prefer to get Ugarte. I think Ugarte is more exciting. United fans they've watched they've been craving for Rabiot over time, but I don't think that the deal is going to happen for the deal for Rabiot might not happen, and it might happen. Forever United said Ugarte is an upgrade. I agree with you. It's an upgrade. Really, really good. I really agree with you. So let's see how it goes, guys. Let's see if the deal is going to happen. For those that have joined us and contributed, Abib B this low. Thank you so much. Onabanjo Adegbami Adegba Bami. Sorry, no, not Bami. Adeba Yemi. Okay, thank you so much. The fancy fan zone. Thank you so much for contributing on this show today. We'll be back here hopefully tomorrow. Tomorrow, if we are not back here tomorrow, we'll be here on Monday to talk more on football. Okay. Let me just add, instead of getting Rabiot, then just keep Casemiro. I agree also as well. Then also for fans of Scott McTominay is better player than Rabiot. I don't rate Scooby. So, but let's see how it goes. Thank you so much for watching once again. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us today on a Saturday morning. And hopefully we will see you, or we'll be back here tomorrow.